Hello and welcome back to Only Murders on TV, the podcast where we talk about crime dramas, police detective shows. So let's say, for example, Magnum PI or Murder She Wrote, Vera, many other shows of that nature, and also the true crime type thing, not like documentary about true crime, but true crime as in. Let's say, let's say yeah, I think so. White Farm, which was based on a real event. Des, that's it. So Des is based on a real event, and they do a real documentary afterwards. That type of thing. So today we're doing an episode all about only murders on TV, only murders in the building, which is what this podcast is inspired by. Because a lot of things are inspired by, but this is mainly what it's inspired by. And eventually we will come to this, but this week, the fourth series starts to air on Disney Plus, and it will air weekly. But we're going to talk about the previous episodes first. But this might be like a short video or a video in two parts, because the camera is about to die. So we'll see what we get up to in it. But the audio recording might last longer, so we might end up still be talking, and then I'll just be for visuals. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel Only Murders on TV, which is the new home for the podcast, but it will still be on the playlist section for the weird side. So in this year, I'm gonna get a crack on, but if the visuals stop at any point, the audio may continue and then may eventually stop. And then the visual might return, and I might be jumping in at a different point that might make no sense, but I do apologise in advance. Anyway, let's crack on. Only Murders in the Building is a comedy-esque series. It's a light-hearted crime series starring Steve Martin, Martin Short and Selena Gomez. They are our main characters, and the only character we'll talk about because the rest of the characters are terrible. These are the only characters I like in the show. I'll get on to that in a future episode when we talk about Series 4 in full. So, it starts off with them all listening to a podcast, a true crime podcast, about a real event that's happened, and they're all involved in this. They all listen to it. They all live in the same building, and they all listen to it. Perfectly all right. Steve Martin's character is an actor. Martin Short's character is a producer, actor type character, and Selena Gomez is the plucky young youth that just living in the building. So, what does this have to do with anything? Well, they all then meet and get together and create the podcast Only Murders in the Building, because there was a murder in the building, then we were involved somehow, and so they thought, right, we're fans of true crime, let's make a podcast. But not like this, where I'm sat here now, talking to you, and going, no, it's a performance act, so there's a script that's been written. We've got Steve Martin's character performing it, and they've got an old-fashioned mic. They scripted it, and it's not like, what do you think of the murder? Oh, I really like the murder. What do you think of the murder? Oh, I really like the murder. What do you think of who's the victim? Oh, yeah. Who do you reckon did it? They did it. Who did it? They did it. Who did it? They did it. Who did it? They did it. Oh, don't tell me that they did it. No, it's more of a, and we walked down the street. Clip, clop, clip, clop. And there they were, running for their life, saying, I'll get you one day if it wasn't for you pesky kids. Dun-dun-dun. And it's that type of thing. It's more of a dramatic read-through, and that's what makes the podcast unique. In the world of true crime podcasts, which I don't know enough about to discuss, but that seems to me like something very much unique. And I think that's what helps the program, because the podcast becomes really popular, and that's how come we're at a fourth series, because each series gets better and better than the last. I personally think that each series is better than the last. Apart from Series 3, I wasn't too keen on, but Series 4 so far, I'm really into. I love Series 4 so far, but it's nothing against Paul Rudd or anything in Series 3. I just didn't think Series 3 had its grabbing attention. It took me twice as long to watch through the third series than it did Series 1 and 2. But I do think that it's one of those programs on Netflix that, not Netflix, on Disney Plus that is well worth watching if you've got Disney Plus in the UK. It is on Hulu in America. I don't know about the rest of the world, but that's what we've got. I'm just trying to work out the best way to talk on the microphone. I do apologise. Trying to get the best audio out of it. And I think that the show itself has a lot of merits. It's funny at times, it's dramatic at times, and it makes you feel like you're not watching something that's really intense. You're not watching, like, I don't know, Trigger Point, which is not technically a police procedural, it's about the bomb squad, but that's more like, I need to see the next episode now. You're like, oh, that's a good way of ending that episode, and you're excited for the next week, but you're not desperate to be like, I need it now, I need it now, I need it now. It's not like that, it's more of a, I'm happy to wait. And in the meantime, you can think about it, and because of the way the show operates, it's got enough to let fans enjoy things in the meantime. So, for example, there's a podcast called Only Murdered in the Building. There's the music that was sang in the show that's been released, and there's other stuff around it. So you're not like going, I need more, and you're not like on one of those rocking chairs going, I need more, I need more now, give me more. It's not like that at all. It's more of a, I need more, I want more, I'm happy to wait till the following Tuesday, and it's because it's cool, it's like nice, it's not intense, it's not like, it's like, it's nice, it's like, and not intense, and not like really scary, not angry. But I do think that the best bits, I think, is that, well, there is a Let It Down, let's say. It is the podcast that lets it down ever so slightly, not because of the concept and the idea being terrible. It's due to the fact that they don't do it enough. You don't see them walking around with like a recording device like this. You don't see them walking about with something like that to like record the conversation. You don't see any of the antics of that type of thing happening. And I think that sort of lets the concept down slightly. So you don't see any of that, and somehow they manage to have a really successful podcast, and they barely record anything, which doesn't freak me out. It basically, is that right? Is that what they're doing? They're really doing that. Wow. And I think that Mabel, played by Selena Gomez, is a cracking character because it's the plucky young character. It's the one that's still in the youth and has all these wild theories and has had life experience in a different way. And that's an interesting look at it because you've got the old guard, shall we say, in a comedy sense. We've got the old guard, which is Martin Short and Steve Martin. We've got them who experience in the world of acting, have a lot of connections, have a lot of friends, and they have a lot of other insights. And Steve Martin's character used to play a detective on TV. So there's that element with the new element of an artist, because Mabel's also an artist. There's all these other elements that you don't expect to gel, but they really do gel really well. And I know that American crime series and crime dramas and the American world of what Britain does more than America, as in most programs in Britain, if they're a drama, end up being a crime drama in some way or other. I think America does it in an alternate angle than what we do here in the UK. So I think that this is a fresh look at... This isn't defining the genre in America, this is defining the genre everywhere. And because there's not enough detective, crime, police procedural type comedy shows where it's mainly element on the comedy, and then the crime's like immersed in it, but the comedy is like, we're here to blend the two, but we want that more than that, so that we've got a good mixture of the elements. And I think that's what makes Only Murders in the Building work. I always want to say the name of this podcast slash YouTube channel, but I think that it helps the show appearing in this way and having this sort of feeling to it, and it goes right. So someone's dead, but the way they died isn't horrific. It's more of a gentle way of dying. So let's say, for instance, in series 3, the murder wasn't, oh no, you watched him being stabbed. It's more of a, oh, that's happened. But it was like, so if you wanted to have someone being stabbed to death, right? And a lot of crime shows sometimes would show it, but this is because they want to keep the element of surprise going. So we don't know who did the crime until they find out and solve the crime at the end. They show a shadow figure of the person being attacked, and they have the person being attacked say something and appear in the scene, but the murderer, the killer, is there in the shadow, so that each episode we're guessing along with the podcast team, we're guessing along with them to say who did the crime, and we don't know, they don't know, and that's what makes this, I would say, more unique than most, because normal crime dramas, you have a good idea at the get-go who did it, because you might not be revealed immediately, but because you've seen antics, you learn on the job. Shetland is a good example of this type of element where you don't know who did it until they find out. But a few shows like Midsomer Murders and whatnot, you can guess really easily who did it, and a lot of it's predictable. And this is what this does really well. It's not predictable at all, and I think that that's what saves it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I just think that crime in this way, crime comedy, I'm going to call it, needs to be more widely accepted, and more programs need to be made in that genre. So in Britain, we could have, I don't know, a sitcom, but it'd be a crime comedy sitcom. So you can expand this genre, and that's what this genre needs. Midsomer Murders has been going for 25 plus years, and that's formulaic at this point, and we need something that's a comedy element to that, but like that. So this, to me, in my opinion, this is a cracking crime series. It's series 1 to 4 is available in the UK on Disney Plus, and I think series 1 to 4 is available on Hulu in America. New episodes air every Tuesday here in the UK. I don't know about America. I highly recommend it. This episode is slightly shorter than others, due to the fact that I'm concerned the camera might die. And I don't want to spoil much. I do think that there's a song in it, and I think it goes, I'm going to just hum a bit of it. My heart, and it's catchy, and I think that's another element. You don't get many catchy songs in a crime series, do you? Well, obviously the Midsomer Murders theme tune, and all the crime programs have cracking theme tunes such as Only Murders in the Building, but you don't have many songs that the character and actor sings that you get really stuck in your head. And it gets really stuck in your head, and you're like, wow. And I think this program will have an impact on generations to come, and this will be like, right, we want to make a program like that because it's incredible. So, there we have it. Thank you for watching. Now, if you're watching this on Spotify, another way of watching this is on the TV, on the YouTube channel, Only Murders on TV, which is the YouTube version of the podcast. What I mean by that is that the visual version goes on there. But if you want to listen to it via YouTube Music, I'm not too sure on this. This is why I'm hesitating on saying this fact. But on YouTube Music, the episodes are available under the Weird Side YouTube channel, because that's what the playlist is. The playlist is categorized as a podcast there. I don't want to mess with that. That's why on Only Murders on TV, there are no playlists. There might be a playlist when I eventually, well, there might not be, but one of the things I want to do, that I'm not 100% sure if I do want to do it, is I want to make a extra series on this, so Only Murders on TV extra, where I utilise some of the crime, detective and police procedural stories I've been told when I interview people across my other channels. So that should be in the same thing on Spotify. So there we have it. Thank you guys for watching. Time on Tomat. Bye.